So, in the name of Allah, how to create a table, insert data, update data, select data, and Oracle. First one, we'll use the Oracle SQL Developer to create our table. So, first step, create table and Oracle. For creating table, we don't need any specific command. It's SQL DDL command create. The syntax is the same as we do in MySQL, as we do in SQL Server or in simple SQL also. So simply just create, then your table command, then your table name, maybe something like EMP. I wish I don't have this one. Another is open parenthesis. Whenever you open a parenthesis, close it also. Whenever you open, close it. You may forget this one. So it will generate some errors for you. So creating first, you need to write an ID. ID should be an integer type and it should be primary. Each table, it must have a primary key field. ID or anything. You may create this one as EMP ID. EMP ID. But it's up to you. You want to use the EMP ID or ID. Then what you need for employees, you may name the name in Oracle. We write it in varchar2, not varchar. We can do it in varchar also, but we must do it in varchar2. Recording is second time you define it name varchar2. So varchar2 needs some sizes, how many characters you want to store in it. Maybe 15 characters for name. Another record, maybe you put salary. Salary is number type. If you want to insert decimal points, you can write there fixed numbers, maybe 8 characters and 2 decimal points for your salary. You can choose it. It be a, or instead of number, you can write a real data type. What? A real data type. If you want to insert the decimal points, not the integral numbers, you can use the real also. Another thing, you may insert bonus. You may insert bonus also. Bonus should be something like integer type. Simply, when you create this one, select the query and execute it. Table MP, create it. You want to see the structure? For structure, for displaying structure, you need to write the desk keyword. Desk your MP table. Select it and execute the task. Oh shit. Execute this one. Simply, your table contains an MPID with not null constraint and number. Why not null? Because we define it as primary key. Means that we can't put duplicate numbers. Another was name, varchar 50. Salary was real. That got a float with 63 characters and number with 38 characters. Bonus. Now you want to insert some data on this one. You can write insert DML command, insert into your MP, then define the columns, column ID, column name, column salary, and column bonus. Maybe you want to put bonus or not. I don't want to put something on bonus. You can also put the values required. You should put one. So first column, second was a character or varchar. We need to put characters, wahid attention. So maybe name like Ahmad, or let me choose real names. Name Sami. Your salary should be like 5,000. Then choose this one and execute it. So now it says the column ID is not correct. Why? Because we had an EMP ID. We didn't have ID itself. Yeah, we had EMP ID. It should be EMP ID. Now execute the task. One row, insert. You want to insert more rows? Change the values. Change the values. I better to copy it. Maybe copy this one multiple times. Then change the values. For visibility, I do this one. Another maybe Wahid with for 5,000. No, for numbers you don't put quotations. For only for text and characters you put quotations, single quotations only. Muzammil, like 6,000, and the numbers should be changed. The ID should be changed also. ID number 4 maybe Rohit with salary of maybe 6,000 or 500. So execute these tasks. One row inserted only. What do you think? Which row was inserted? Which one? How you want to know this one? Which one is inserted? Just select all streak from EMP and execute this one because we didn't then have the PLSQL. So records were inserted. Same, Wahid, Muzamil, and Rohit. As we said in first day of introduction to PLSQL, PLSQL is extension to SQL. So we use PLSQL for decreasing the traffic, increasing the performance. So, in pure SQL, you can't insert multiple times at once, but in pure SQL, you can do it just select the data. So, you want to update according to what? According to a PSQL command. As we learned here, check an if else statement. In a false statement, we learned that if the salary is lower than 2000, update the salary. But in here, we got one more lesson, two more lessons. One lesson was the type attribute that we use for inheriting the information of our columns to into a variable. Another lesson that how we can insert or save query results into variables before this one. So now we need to define some variables. Declare. So one more thing to be done. Can you tell me what we should do before the declare? Yeah, we want to check the output. We need to set the server output on and execute this one alone. Execute this one alone. Why? Because we want to check the output of our server. We need to turn on the server output. Then declare some variables like what? EMPID equal to emp.empid and then use the type attribute. Then you can put a default value of 1 or 2 or 3 maybe. If you don't want, it's not worse. Another record that we need emp name that should be come from emp.name and type attribute. Why we do this one? Because we don't know exact information of the data type and the size of this column to be inserted for this variable. So we inherit this one. We inherit this one using the type attribute to take the values from the table structure, not defining the data type. Actually, we learned about the variables like this one. We can define a data type and we can define some values for this one, and then we can assign an initial value or default value using the default keyword. But what was why we use this type attribute? Actually, we don't know what data type or what size that our MPID has in our data table. So we assign it using the type attribute to inherit its constraint, its data type and its size to avoid errors. To avoid errors. Another thing we have EMP salary. That this one also should come from salary row type, and simply we got another EMP bonus. EMP bonus. That this one also should come from EMP dot bonus. Bonus dot type attribute. Simple. Now you want to do some calculations, some executions from the if conditions and also assigning query results into variables. So come here, begin, and then start what you want to do. I want to select asterisk from or what? Is it correct? Is it correct? Good. From customers, but is not correct. We need to write select what? Select name, comma, salary, comma bonus into emp name emp salary. Why? Because we want to put the data from table into variables, into variables. Yeah, then we need to write this way, not the asterisk, from from emp, where id or emp id equal to emp id, emp id. Simple. Now we can do execution. If what? If emp cell less than or equal to maybe 2000, less than or equal to maybe, let me do more, 8000. I think we don't have anything with 8000. Yeah, then what? Update. Update what? Update emp set bonus equal to bonus plus a bonus of something, maybe 500, a bonus of 500, where emp id equals to emp id, where emp id equals to emp id. Then dbms output dot put underscore line for checking the output, maybe bonus updated, bonus updated. Then want to have an else condition also. Else, let me do this one and control C, control V for basher. Bonus not updated. Bonus not updated. At the end, you should end F first, put semicolon and end the block also. Now execute the block. Now execute the block from here. Select it and execute this one. Now we got an error. Declare. We got an error on declare. Imp id imp dot returns more than request number of rows. Imp id equal to 1. What's wrong here? Let me execute once again. Select name. So execute. We got an error. What's the error? You need to change this one to the variable name eid. Now bonus updated because its salary is less than what. Let me check the bonus. Execute this one. Now the bonus not updated. Why it's not updated? Because we said imp is, yeah, you should come in. You can have this one. So the condition comes through, bonus should be updated. Bonus updated. Now let me commit. Then execute this one and let me check if we have. So we don't have anything on bonus currently. We need to insert something to bonus. Plus where imp id equals to id. If salary is less than 5000, select bonus, update imp set bonus, bonus plus 500, where imp id equals to id. Let me set this recording, this one, and execute once again. Bonus updated. Now let me execute this one. Yeah, now works. So what's the problem? Because we did the bonus plus 500, means take the first value then add it with new value, but it was problem because we don't have any value in here, so it didn't change it. Or you can remove the where condition and update everything. You can remove the where condition and update the old records. Just execute this task, and now if you check the bonus, it will be updated to everything. Now all fields has a bonus of 500. So actually we learned two things here. First thing was how to inherit and details or constraints data type and size from column, from table into variable. Another thing we learned how to insert a Q result or save Q result into variables in PLSQL, and then we worked on if conditions and else condition, how to update something or delete something according to a specific condition. So any points? You need to finish this one. Also the task to be finished. So any questions? Nothing?